Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be breaking a long streak, and we're going to be playing some Limited. I haven't played Limited in a very long time, however, I think today is a little bit of a special thing, because we got a new event. It's Arena Cube Sealed. Not quite what you'd want. Obviously, Arena Cube Draft is better, but, you know, take what we can get. Yeah, so this is sealed, so what we're going to be doing is opening up 6 packs of curated Magic the Gathering content, so it's going to be jam-packed full of, like, powerful cards. I've actually clicked this link to actually look at what's in the cube, and from what I can tell, it's mostly just good stuff decks. I don't believe that it's really been customized so that, like, certain color combos are really going to be, like, an archetype similar to like cube that you'd see on MTGA. So I imagine what we see from our opponents and from our own deck is likely to just be a good stuff deck of whatever color has the most powerful cards from us. So you can kind of get an idea of what's going to be in here as well. When I looked at the list of cards as well, there's nothing in here that you wouldn't see in Magic the Gathering. So we have actually had Magic the Gathering Arena specifically. We have had events in the past that have had the Mox rubies and sapphires and whatnot in like a pre-con deck. So far as I can tell, none of that actually exists in this one. So it's going to be a cube sealed of purely arena-only cards from things that you could build in Historic, essentially. As far as the reward structure is concerned, I think it's pretty crappy. There is no real reward, or at least for someone like me, who's had a pretty decent collection built up. Because, yeah, it's not until you get to 4 wins and 3 losses that you go even. And going even is only going to earn you essentially 1 rare and 2 uncommons. So for me and my luck, that's likely to be 20 gems. So risking 3,000 gold to go 4 and 3 for 20 gems feels really awful. I'm going to discount it a little bit because obviously this is a fun event, but if I was someone who wanted to grind Limited, this is probably not where you want to be. And the really weird thing as well is that if you get your 5th win, so you go from 3,000 gold, you'd expect that you'd get a little bit more gold so that you could go infinite and then some, so you could actually earn gold by playing Limited. Not the case, actually, because you just get 600 gems instead, which is the gem equivalent of the entry fee. So on 4 wins, I can get back what I paid in gold. On 5 wins, I can get back what I paid in gems. And all I get is an extra rare, which, let's face it, is another 20 gems. So I think the reward structure kind of sucks. There's no real incentive to play it if you're a competitive player. So purely on the fun factor is all I could really say about this one. At least, I will say at least, and it's very much just a, you know, grasping at straws here. At least once 1 win gets you a rare ICR. It's probably going to be gems yet again, so, you know, it's going to kind of suck. So, yeah, the more you go into this format, the less you actually pay for it. So just assume that the gold loss is kind of paying for the experience more than actually going infinite and actually gaining something, which is a preferred structure for me personally anyway. But anyway, without rambling on too much, let's get into it. I'm going to pay gold because I expect to get gold back. I'm not a particularly good Limited player personally, or at least I don't believe myself to be. So 6 packs. I think we're going to sort by rares and mythics because in general when it comes to Arena, the commons and uncommons don't tend to actually do anything of note. So it's really a matter of seeing what my good cards are. And as far as white's concerned, we got some early History of Benalias, which is good, but not long-term good. More tokens with Johnny. I guess we could look at our gold stuff first, because that's usually the stuff you splash for. We've got 3 lands, Watergrave, Dragon Skull, Summit, and a Temple. So, yeah, we didn't get, like, the Shock and Check of the same colour, unfortunately. We did get the Great Henge and Enray's Forerunners. Great Henge seems pretty good, and Tend to Shoot Dryads. I'm liking the look of that just a fair bit. Because, like, we could go turn 3 Swordtooth and then have a 5 cost reduction on this, so that'd be turn 4 we play the Great Henge, and this thing, if it sticks around, probably wins you the game. But as far as, like, green in general is concerned, I'm not sure it's all that great. Can I turn the card style off? Oh, fantastic, I can. Look at that. Beautiful. Alright, so then what would be the other colours we'd want to splash? As far as green is concerned... Ooh, we have the Immortal Sun in here as well. That would be a reason. And I'd actually like most of the... most of the artifacts actually seem pretty good. If we went black, we have Assassin's Trophy. If we went white, we have Knight of Autumn. Red, we got Domri. So, red looks not terrible, to be honest. Siege Gang with Trashmaster is a nice little combo. War Boss as well. A little bit of a Goblin synergy here. Any legends that we've got that can trigger Giant's Immolating Inferno? Not really. They might be in the uncommons and commons section, because this does have Dominaria in it, and Dominaria does have a fair few common legends. I kind of like the idea of the white side of things. So I like the power level of those cards, for sure. Could maybe do a ramp thing with Wayward Swordtooth and treasure maps, helping us get to Zatalpa, which would probably win us the game. So if we went green-white, we've got Knight of Autumn, which just naturally gets rid of artifacts and enchantments, so I don't have to run a random naturalize effect or anything like that. But we don't really get the non-basics for it. Let's have a look at the commons and uncommons as far as green-white's concerned. Well, we got Tranquil Cove and Dismal Backwater in the lands. Okay, none of them really help us. Board the Weatherlight. Sort of does a thing, but not really. Yeah, the white's looking pretty crappy. The green's looking pretty crappy. I think we need a 3-color deck, honestly. That's what I'm kind of gathering from this pile. We've got no real green ramp, so we'd have to have a long game strategy if I wanted to justify running Forerunners and Immortal Sun. Well, not so much Immortal Sun, but, I think Immortal Sun's pretty great. I think you just run that in every deck that you pull it in. Yeah, not a great pull, to be honest. Do have Flame Sweep and Slaying Fires as well. They're nice removal. We did have a Domri, which helps ramp us out a little bit. So we could add red for a little bit of Jaya's Greeting and all the removal stuff. So we could have Greeting, Flame Sweep, and nope, not you. Maybe you, I don't know. And Slaying Fire. I mean, Flaxen Intruder's okay. 7 mana creates 3 2/2s. It's not the worst thing in the world. I've seen worse value in my time. And we can also have the Encyclopedia as a bit of a card draw thing. Possibly Cryptic Caves. Although with Slaying Fire's Adamant and the triple green and double green here, maybe not. Who knows? Depends on how we splash, I suppose. Rabid Bite I could see being pretty good. Harpooners, decent enough. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, put a counter on this thing. Maybe. Could be a thing. See, if we're going green-white, we have access to the Knight of Autumn anyway. I might as well just undo this and go to golds. We got Domri if we go green-red. And if we go Naya, then we can add Response as another removal spell. Gives us a little bit of a nice early game. What's our life gain like? Because we do have a Soul Warden and an Ajani's Pridemate in here. I guess we're going Benalia, Shatter the Skies, Zatalpa. We're going all in. We're going Naya, I think. That's the fun factor we're going with. So if we're Naya, we're kind of 1 card away from our final deck already, which doesn't feel great. But maybe that's what we're running with. I mean, we've got lots of red here that we should be adding as well. Bone Crusher Giant definitely coming in. I could see Crater Maker being okay for a little bit of early game. We can always cut things afterwards as well, so we're just kind of trying to figure out what the good cards are. Rekindling Phoenix looks awesome. Could see Skargan Hellkite as well being pretty good. If we can get that Riot counter on, then we can blow up a lot of stuff. If we have Flame Sweep and we have Fiery Cannonade, that gives us a little bit of late game, or board control anyway. But we'd want to focus on having stuff in the early game that doesn't really die to these things, which I think we kind of already have. Not so much the Night tokens, but a lot of the stuff pretty much has a way of surviving. Trashmaster, probably not. You can do Thorn Lieutenant, that's a nice early game card for sure. Yeah, we just don't really have the non-basics for it, but I don't know if like blue-black was really something we wanted to go into, and black-red I don't think is worth justifying the land inclusion in either. It's where it makes me question this Cryptic Caves just because reasons. Anything else I'd consider adding? I mean, I do like the Skargan Hellkite, let's be honest. It's pretty sweet. I'd consider Crater Maker. Warboss to a certain extent is good in your opener, I guess, but not really good with the rest of the deck with Shatter the Skies, Cannonades, and Flame Sweeps. You can't really build that board up with a Legion Warboss. I'm not a big fan of Endray's Forerunners necessarily here. Nor particularly am I a big fan of Zatalpa, but it does win you the game pretty much. A 4-8, which could be a 5-9 with the Great Henge. Double striking, indestructible. It's just unkillable, right? So if we get to this point, we win. It's just a matter of actually getting to that point. And I really like Helm of the Coast as well. I think if we can attach that to like a Tender Shoot Dryad, we win the game. If we can constantly recreate Rekindling Phoenixes, all sorts, to be honest. Anything this gets attached to is probably going to be pretty good. Recurable Night of Autumns, more 5/5s. Helm has a home here for sure. I do not hate Endray's Foreigners because of the Dryads and things like that. We do have somewhat of a go-wide strategy. I just don't know if it's quite what we want. And is this really what we want? It just makes it 2/2. I think in an Immortal Sun deck we probably just don't want to run that. Try early game control with a bit of a late game finish. Got lots of good cards in the late game finish as well. 3 cards to cut. Might be Finale of Glory. It's possible. What's our creature count right now? 11. It's decent enough for a Rabid Bite. All of our creatures are pretty big as well. Some of them will survive a lot of damage, a lot of fighting. What about you? 4 or greater power. We've got Bone Crusher Giant, Wayward Swordtooth, potentially Night of Autumn. History of Benalia, no. You have Dormery pumping the 3 powered creatures as well. Rekindling Phoenix. Yeah, this Hornbeetle triggers off of any other creature being around, so I like that. I like that a fair amount. I think I'm just going to cut the Finale. I think we've got the card advantage to just outvalue our opponent, no problem. Could see going down one of these. Each non-pirate and non-flyers. We don't have any pirates. We do have some flyers, though. And the flyers are the ones that actually survive it, so it's really a tilt, I guess. But I guess we'll go with the Flame Sweep. It's a little less conditional. We'll keep that one. And then one more card to cut. This realistically is down here for the record, so that's more likely our curve. And I think realistically as well, this is going to be 4 mana cheaper than it looks here as well. I'm sure, somewhere around there, 4 or 5, because of the creatures we've got, the big creatures. So, you know, this is more like, you know, in this bracket-ish. Want to aim for here, I guess. But I guess realistically it's going to be there on the curve. So, last card to cut. Last card. Do I need 2 sweepers, especially when one is Shatter the Sky? I don't know about that one. I'm not sure. It might be worthwhile cutting down on some of the doubles. Specifically the double whites as well, because the Domri can fix for doubles. But I do like all of them. I think History of Benalia is absolutely filthy value. It's a tough one to call, honestly. I might try it without the Flame Sweep and just settle for a Shatter the Sky on like a situation when it's really not going to work out for us. Also, it's got that freaking card style on it. Ew. Yeah, let's get rid of the Flame Sweep. I'm going to change the... I'm going to turn that card style off when I find it. When I find it, it's going down. There it is. Boom. Oop. Oh, god dang it, misclicks. I always misclick. There we go. Am I missing anything? Just looking at the mythics. Cavalier and Bontu are pretty good cards. Weatherlight is not high enough impact for me, I don't think. The rares. Let's see. Can make an argument for Siege Gang Commander for sure. It's pretty good. I think our removal's doing just fine though as it is. I don't think we want to splash for any of these cards, especially when we're already struggling to make cuts. I'm going to see how this one goes. I'm not sold on it. I think our opponents are probably going to have a better deck in general than we are. But, you know, it's worth a try, right? Have we got like a suitable sleeve? Let's have a look. Ooh. I don't know. What's a Naya looking sleeve? I guess the Chandra sleeves, they fit, right? Alright, so without further ado, let's take this deck on to some gameplay. I'm probably not going to show all the games because we will be here all day. I mean, the drafting portion's already taken 18 minutes, so, you know, if just building the deck takes that long, playing all these games is likely to take that long. So I'm probably going to give some highlights and updates between games just to let you guys know how we're doing. But yeah. If you do enjoy the content, make sure to like and subscribe. Let's get to the gameplay. Alrighty then, we're in. We don't have any green for the Thorn Lieutenant, so we're going to be playing that off curve, but I think that's a little bit okay, since we've got the Crater Maker and a little bit of removal anyway. And eventually, hopefully we can get to Rekindling Phoenix. I like this hand. It looks decent. See where our opponent's playing. Yeah, from what I can tell, it seems like you'd have to get very lucky to justify like a 2-color deck in this format. It's very weird. Like, all the cards just seem very randomly chosen, like they're just good stuff decks. Ooh, my deck tracker finally works. Oh boy. Alright, more green. Oh, no, no, no. I'm an idiot. I was going to play Crater Maker, but I just lost my train of thought. That's fine though. I mean, this is Bolt the Bird territory, so we get to scry. The Great Henge. Best card in the deck, but it has to go to the bottom because it's just unreasonably hard to cast. And then we'll drop down Crater Maker. Yeah, I would have loved an Incubation Druid of my own, for sure. That in the rare pile would have been nice. Nessian Wanderer. Okay, so if they have any artifact, any enchantment specifically, then that's going to be pretty good. I think we just want to slap down this Rekindling Phoenix. And I think we will win off Rekindling Phoenix alone. So for those who weren't around when Rivals of Ixalan as it were, was around, then this is Rekindling Phoenix. Oh, they just got Questing Beast. And they're running it right into my Rekindling Phoenix. Don't know if they know how this card works, but we're about to show them. Hey, it's back. Alright, and now we've got Slaying Fire open. So hit our opponent for 4. Well, you know, I was hoping we'd draw the other mountain so that we could use Slaying Fire on Questing Beasts on this turn, but our opponent just killed it themselves, so A little less to worry about there, I guess. Hey, look at that. Beautiful. Alright, we're going to send it in. I mean, we could attack him with Crater Maker and then sack Crater Maker to kill the Wanderer. Don't know if that's necessarily worth it. Interesting. Alright, so they're going to flash in Thrix to block my Rekindling Phoenix. Which means if they can deal with the token, they can deal with Rekindling Phoenix. I think this is a good enough occasion to not do that, Magic the Gathering. Why would you ever not want me to have Slaying Fire open? I think I'm going to use Crawl Harpooner here to fight Thrix. Giving cost reduction on the heavier casted spells is not ideal, as well as, obviously, the ability to block my Rekindling Phoenix is not something I want either. Alright, so if they can deal with this token, then Rekindling Phoenix will never come back. If they've got, like, Brazen Borrowers, I'm assuming something like that exists in blue, then they can sure as hell do that. I mean, we can play around fight mechanics to a certain extent with this Slaying Fire. I think that's maybe what they're going to go and do here, the minus. Could have Nessian Wanderer fighting our token, but we can kill it in response. And then we can kill Vivian. So this is going really well for us so far. 4 damage to Nessian Wanderer. Do they have a negate? Oh, don't do it. No! Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so rough. Okay, well, you know, it was about time something didn't go well for us, I suppose. Yeah, just can't stop that.
The wrong fight.
And now they've got a decent blocker to keep Vivian alive, and all we're doing is drawing lands. Wow, what a hit. Of all the cards they could have had, we're now on top decks, which is less than ideal. We could swing with a land in a hand, but they always block with Nessian Wanderer. I mean, the risk of us killing their Nessian Wanderer in combat damage trying to go for Nissa is just not worth... not Nissa, Vivian. Brazen Borrower, give me a token. Sweet. So they did have Brazen Borrower to deal with the Phoenix as well. That's a crazy amount of things that could go well for them here. Come on, I need a hero. Give me a good card. What's a good card for us now? Skargan Hellkite works out quite well. The Immortal Sun's pretty good, obviously. As long as it's not double green,
This'll be fun to
we could
watch.
be okay. I think Domri only says fight creatures, so that doesn't really work for us, unfortunately. Tend to shoot Dryad, though. It's a pretty good one. Alright, so we got the City's Blessing, so Tender Shoot Dryad gives a Lord effect to all of our creatures. I think... yeah, we can't really do much here. I think we're just going to pass. So Vivian fights on 3, and they're on 2 right now, so... we've got Dryad doing something for a little while. Spectral Sailor means card advantage. Not too ideal. We might want to trade a Crater Maker to stop that from doing its job. Gonna go for the draw now. I think we wait. I think we wait until they tick up with Vivian, because on the off chance that they put a point into Spectral Sailor, then we want to just kill it in response and not have a 3/3 Trampler. I don't think they do that, though, because they know I can respond with my Crater Maker. Okay. So do I kill Brazen Borrower here? I think so, right? It's 5 damage in the air. Our board state on the ground is pretty substantial as well for now. Come on, good card. Ugh! Why? Why? Okay. That's fine, I guess. So they could trade off Vivian to kill Tender Shoot and turn our 3/3s into 1/1s. We can wait a little bit and we get another 1/1. They might want to tick up and be a little bit greedy, I guess. But, I mean, the 2 cards up. Vivian is pretty damn good, though. If they can get it up to 5, they can go into their sideboard and pull out some creatures they didn't use. Oh, you just have the fight anyway? Okay. So now they've got the fight, the tick up, and they can also draw with Spectral Sailor. Wow, they stabilize like crazy. Is this double green to activate? It isn't, actually. Okay. So this gets +4/+4, so it attacks as a 6. So we can go through the Nessian Wanderer with it. So we can threaten that kind of block. I mean, we're just sending it all at Vivian, I'm pretty sure. And then I'll activate if they try to kill Thorn Lieutenant. Alright, she's at 1. It's a shame we didn't have 1 extra mana during that flood, otherwise I'd be able to play down Knight of Autumn. It's a possibility that I get better value from it later, though. Elvish Rejuvenator. Okay. I wonder if Field of the Dead's in here. I doubt it, right? Because it just never gets enabled in any game whatsoever. You'd have to kind of get really unlucky, I think, with your sealed pool to have enough lands to justify Field of the Dead. I wouldn't put it past me, though. Swinging with Spectral Sailor. Interesting. And now we've got Zatalpa. Oh boy, we got Zatalpa. Alright, so we're going to try and kill Vivian here. I think we're stabilizing. Short of them having, like, I don't know, Spell Swindle. So they block Thorn Lieutenant. Vivian takes 2. I think we leave the Saproling back. Although if they've got another flash creature like they did before with Thrix, then maybe we want to send another one in. So they could have like Merfolk Trickster, I'm pretty sure that's in the format. I guess for safety's sake I might as well, right? It doesn't look like they do. I mean, they got an activation for Spectral Sailor. So, yeah. I mean, they're always going to take a counter, a token away anyway. On that attack. I think we're just going to go Zatalpa, and if it resolves, we win. Because we've already seen them use their Brazen Borrower to bounce. I don't really suspect they've got more of an answer to Zatalpa than that. Once upon a time, while they're digging, remember Zatalpa is indestructible. So they need straight up exile or bounce for Zatalpa. They've got an Uro. Uro can come out. It's pretty good value, but vigilance on Zatalpa. This is keyword soup, so you know, this is what Questing Beast should look like, realistically. Questing Beast has just as many keywords and lines of text. Alright, so Uro's come out of the graveyard, so they get to keep that around. They're taking 8 in the air, though. They're taking 16 in the air, though. 4 cards in the yard. What do you do? All of my lands for the activation? 6. Yeah, Okay, well, let's go to combat. I was thinking about swinging in with Thorn Lieutenant, but they can just block with Spectral Sailor and force me to tap out completely. I don't know if that's something I want to do. So I think I might just attack for 8. Then again, I do get rid of Spectral Sailor, which is a pretty big deal. We just chump block with a Saproling token and Zatalpas and things like that, and we're doing just fine. This also does for blocking creatures as well, if I want to use it that way, but I think Resurgence is my way out of this one. Alright, so we're just getting 1 creature out of the way with no need to tap down, which is great. I don't know if I want to use Knight of Autumn, though it would give me the extra combat trigger. If we went and pumped this up to a 4-power creature, I'm assuming our opponent holds back, really, and then they just trade off there. Yeah, I think I just hold it for an enchantment or artifact that might matter. I'm pretty sure I've seen Imbolus's Clutches in the card pool as well. That'd be something I really do not want to see triggering my Zetalpa. So they got Cavalier of Thorns. They do have Blink of an Eye. Okay, so they do have more pump spells. Pump spells, bounce spells. They've got Khan's Bastion to pump up the Spectral Sailor. And if I... Yeah, there's so much that they can get with Cavalier of Thorns, unfortunately. I guess I could just go with the Resurgence, though, and hope for the best. Cryptic Caves. I think we redraw. Hope for something useful. I mean, Treasure Map is useful. So if I went Resurgence, I'd be able to just double attack with Zetalpa, which is 16 points, which means it has to be blocked. I mean, they're going to block Zetalpa on Cavalier of Thorns, no doubt. Maybe I just hold the line. We go Knight of Autumn, Treasure Map, kill the Encyclopedia. Try and set up a situation where Zetalpa is just lethal with the Resurgence alone. So we swing in, she's indestructible, so there's really no risk whatsoever. If they block with Cavalier, they get Cavalier. If they don't, they won't. Alright, getting rid of all the card advantage is pretty good. They're at 9. So we just pass the turn. We're going to have an upkeep stop for the Treasure Map. Hope for the best. I'm surprised they didn't trade the Cavalier there for a card in hand. Helm of the Host makes a lot of sense. Oh, Knight of Autumn. Oh, Knight of Autumn. Oh. Interesting. I was thinking they'd have all the reaches in the world, but I guess they'd be closer to decking themselves. They're at 7 cards. So, I mean, their current win cons doubled up are not particularly good. Also, tokens and whatnot. I don't know if they thought that one through. I didn't really think that line through either, to be honest. So, it's understandable. Alright, Treasure Map. Show me what you got. History of Benalia is good, but not great. We can do better. And let's go White Sauce. Mountain? Absolutely not. Bone Crusher Giant. Okay. So they've got 6 points of reaches. So our 8 goes down to 2 on the first combat. And then we've got the next Resurgence. Yeah, I think we've got lethal, just so long as the game doesn't tap weirdly. So we go Resurgence, giving us an additional combat phase for Zetalpa. And first strike for all of our other stuff. So we're going to all attack, because there's no instant speed shenanigans to worry about, I don't think, there. And yeah, we just got the win there. So we attack in through the Cavalier. They get a card on top, it doesn't really matter. They take 2 down to 10, then there's 8s from the second combat step just on Zetalpa alone, which takes them to 2, and then Bone Crusher Giant Stomp is lethal, just on the Zetalpa attack alone. From there, we've even got a card advantage. Wow, that was a great game. Absolutely love that. We started off mediocre, then we started off great with the Rekindling Phoenix. Our opponent managed to stabilize by perfectly answering our big threat, coming back briefly, and then right at the very end we managed to turn the tables on them. Really poorly timed Knight of Autumn. I really thought the Encyclopedia would be the best thing that we got out of them there. I think they might have lived if they'd have gone with Cavalier Token. I mean, they would have likely decked themselves, I guess, because this does mill 5. But at least I can't get in with my Zetalpa at that point. and you just move the helm off of the Cavalier at that stage as well onto something that doesn't deck you and then hope for the best. I don't know though, I think they were maybe milling and drawing too many cards there. Cavalier of Thorns does not necessarily seem like the best card in the world to be playing in a draft deck, but, you know, let's go for another game. Alrighty then, we're in, and we don't have the green again, which is unfortunate, but we do have Bone Crusher Giant and Rekindling Phoenix, both pretty powerful cards. Bone Crusher actually are maybe turn 2, turn 3 play, and then this could be our turn 4 if we draw the Mountain. Otherwise, we've got Night of Autumn, leading into the Immortal Sun as well, which, if this goes unanswered, could really run away with this game. So we're going to keep this one. Yeah, how many forests did I put in? You're not going to tell me? I actually thought the forest count was a lot higher than the plains and mountains, but maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. I just kind of let the auto picker do its thing. Oh, Windscarred Crag. Love that. Alright, we got a forest, which is pretty good. So I'm just going to show them our Boros mana. Opponent's just going to be running through their cards in their deck thinking, ooh, we could have this. Ooh, Drowned Catacomb. Alright. I think we just want to Bone Crush. Yeah, I think we just want to stomp our opponent, because we're planning on playing Bone Crusher Giant next turn anyway, by the looks of things. There's no sense in showing them the forest yet, right? Yeah, I guess it doesn't really do much harm. Let's just get it out there. So, oh, it's a mixture of so many different things, it seems, from our opponent. We got the Horn Beetle, which can go very well with the Bone Crusher Giant we're going to get back. I think playing Night of Autumn here is definitely the play we want to go with. Not really going to do much better than that in this early game. So, kill the Glass Casket. Play a Forest and say go. Almost at the Immortal Sun now, and we've got an active Horn Beetle. If we draw a Mountain as well, we can play the Rekindling Phoenix, which is a great early game play. In blue, though, they do have the bounce, and black obviously has a lot of exile abilities. I'm going to assume like Eat to Extinction and Vraska's Contempt are in this format, because it is good stuff cards after all, so... Opponent's facing down 6 points of damage right now. The only unfortunate situation for us is we don't have any removal if our opponent actually manages to put up a good wall. I think with these two in hand though, if there is a situation where we could make trades, I think that's perfectly fine, because we have the ability to a certain extent to actually come back, though our opponent does have the card advantage on us right now. Opponent having a rough time playing Magic the Gathering. This could be one of the games that I don't showcase at this rate. We'll see. Maybe they're just salty. Probably not. This is Arena after all. It is in early access, pre-alpha. So, you know, gonna have issues from time to time. Alright, well, timer ran out. We got Treasure Map, which is pretty good. So we get to go Horn Beetle, Treasure Map. Might be committing a little bit too much into a board wipe here, but... Again, we kind of have everything we'd ever need. We got an end-step stop for Treasure Map. Looks like our opponent's back. They did hover our cards. So, I mean, like, Ritual of Soot is going to be rough here, as is Shatter the Sky, although Shatter the Sky draws as a card. And we do have an end-step Treasure Map, which allows us to potentially find the mana we need for just playing Immortal Sun, which would be fantastic. So I think we just top a land. We don't have to worry about double red necessarily, since a flipped Treasure Map is kind of a possibility here. Alright, so the Maya's Grasp, the Bone Crusher Giant, taking a little bit of damage, and that's going to be the end of their turn. Wow. Best possible draw we could have had there. So we play a mountain and we slap down the Immortal Sun. We're going to get that upkeep stop for treasure map, and we're swinging. Got profitable attacks from both creatures here. Cost reduction on the Rekindling Phoenix plus double draws on the Immortal Sun. If they can't deal with this, it's going to absolutely run away with the game. I'm so glad that our deck actually just has like incidental answers to artifacts and enchantments without having to run like actual naturalize. I think that's pretty nice. Can deal with the artifacts with Creator Maker as well. Alright, so they got Prison Realm, which gets rid of the Horned Beetle, sure. And then they get to Scry. So they've undone a little bit of damage, but they are still kind of looking down lethal. They're going to have to block. And if we find like a Jaya's Greeting, then we can get in a fair amount. I don't think we care about Shatter the Sky necessarily. I might regret that decision, but who knows. Draw an additional card. Oh my. Okay, so we get to go Rekindling Phoenix into Great Henge. So that's card advantage for us as well. I guess Cleansing Nova on artifacts and enchantments would be rough, but I don't think they can afford to do that with our creature base really just stomping through. Like, they're forced to block. If they went with the Clarion there to get rid of these, then we have lethal because they tap out completely. And if they went all creatures, we draw out of it easily because we got the untap with Treasure Map to gain super ramp. So if we found Zatalpa, she's super cheap to cast. 1 off the Immortal Sun, an extra 2 off the Great Henge, and then the treasures as well. Means we can just cast everything in our deck. Alright, well, I talked bad about this deck, but it seems to be doing a fair bit of damage to to this metagame. We just got an Emergent Zone. Alright, so we're 2-0 right now. 750 gold and 3 cards. One of them is 20 gems, and the other are 2 uncommons. Great, let's keep going. Okay, we're in. And I think this hand's fine. Got an early Rabid Bite to deal with any mana dorks with the Nessian Horn Beetle. Got the ramp. Great Henge is a good bit of endgame ramp as well. If we can get this pumping, then maybe we get this out super cheap. First time seeing green in an opener hand, and no red, but no red cards, so that's totally fine. So our opponent leads with a Schwamp. Okay. Well, we're just going to go Forest then. Can make an argument to go for Plains, just in case we want the response on 2, but I'm going to put a hard doubt on that one. There's a Danto Vanguard. That's a lot of damage, though. Okay, so, yeah, let's play a Mountain. I think we're just playing Horn Beetle. I just don't like this Vanguard, though. I don't believe we have an actual answer for it, short of just blocking it forever. Yeah, don't have an answer to it, so we're going to have to race it. I think I'll just go with Horn Beetle. If you find, like, Bone Crusher Giant, you can get that into play, and then Horn Beetle attacks as a 3/3. Might also be better to go Treasure Map, perhaps. I like the idea that if our opponent plays something down that Rabid Bite is good with, then we have that option, but... Down to 16. Opponent passes. There's Jaya's Greeting. So, yeah, I think we're just going to go Treasure Map. And start the scrying there. Let's do this so they play around Shock, maybe. So we got an end step and upkeep stop ready for the Treasure Map. Hopefully find some good cards to block this Vanguard. It is attacking as a 4/1 though, so it pushes through virtually all of our creatures. But if our opponent can't afford to pay for the Vanguard, then obviously it's going to die. Oh my goodness. Outlaw's Merriment. That will get out of hand. And a Firebrand. Okay. So taking 5. I think this is where we lose. And this is a bit too much. Alright, what can we find? We do have, like, Shatter the Skies, but they're not going to be impactful here. Definitely going to put the plains to the bottom, considering we've already got one. And I guess we're going again. I'm not in love with it, but yeah, just keep putting the lands to the bottom. Hoping we don't continue to draw more lands. Oof. Alright, well, play the mountain. Yeah, I guess I passed the turn. Block the Vanguard, really, is likely to be the case here. They've even got the pump on the banner as well, which is absurd. Alright, so we can response, kill the 4-1. Maybe we just block Firebrand this time around, and then block Vanguard afterwards. It's a possibility. I think we might go for that. They might have a pump spell though, and that'll be rough, but I think we just have to keep this board as clear as possible in the hopes that eventually Great Henge can gain us enough life. They've got Rigging Runner. Okay. So I'm going to tap my white for treasure map. Since we've got white in hand, we're making treasures off of the cove anyway. Not a big fan of the Harpooner. Gonna want to see something a little bit better than what we're seeing. So we do have Great Henge, which can take all of our treasures away. But from that, we could then use Rabid Bite to kill Rigging Runner. And we're gaining life, potentially drawing cards as well. But we do have Jaya's Greeting and Rabid Bite anyway, which we should probably be just using regardless. So I think what I'm going to do is Rabid Bite Rigging Runner, see if they have any removal. They have Eat to Extinction, alright. So they have pretty much everything they ever needed. And we just have to hope that the card that they get off the Merriment is not enough. So it's going to be the 2-1, which is attacking as a 3-1. Yeah, that'll do, pig. That'll do. So kill the Jaya's Greeting on the token for a good old scry of a land. Not going to be good enough. Get some redraws, but I cannot fathom what's a good card here for us that gets us out of this situation. We know there's an instant speed Outlaw's Merriment token coming off the top as well, so I don't see there being an out here. Bone Crusher Giant. So close yet so far. It's like we can stomp here. You can Bone Crush, but it doesn't bring down Great Henge enough for us to gain a little bit of life to block here and then potentially live off that. So yeah, and they've got the 4-1 Trampler. A really nice start for them for sure. Adanto Vanguard is definitely a weak spot for our deck, and then Outlaw's Merriment. Very good limited card. Could not keep up with that value. And that'll do. 2 and 1, unfortunately. But we're going on. I think we can lose 2 more times before this event is out. Yeah, 2 more times. So, yeah, we've got to win twice more to go even. If we lose within that time, not great. But we're going to keep moving on. Let's go. Okay, we're in. We have early game removal, and we have ramp/card advantage with treasure map, so I think this is fine. All 3 colours of mana as well, which is a first. Going to accept that as being a good thing. Alright, I'm going to lead off with the Mountain and Plains, just in case we want a response first. We don't need the double green till later anyway. Hallowed Fountain for our opponent. Ooh, we got a nice little combo here. If we can suit up Tender Shoot Dryad, we're in a really good spot. So I think that means we're just going to drop our shields and go straight for the treasure map. Get that flipped, we can make 4 more mana off treasure map. Augur of Bolus. Okay. Seems like a Espery kind of deck to me. You know, blue and white so far to justify my theory. I think we want more lands, to be honest. I mean, Immortal Sun is great, but we already have like a card advantage engine here anyway. So I just want to be making my land drops. Getting closer to like Treasure Map being a flip into a 2-card turn. Cloudkin Seer, okay, draws a card. So far, nothing really scary is happening. We definitely do not want a response 1 point of damage. It seems completely wasteful. We'll tap the mountain. Get another mountain. Is this one we want, or do we want to just keep getting value? I guess we'll bottom this particular one. So we're getting close to the treasure map flip anyway, and there is a good chance we just draw one anyway. Okay. Slow start from us for sure, but it could go well for us in the long term. Take in 3. Sure. Totally fine. I will response if they pump, because I don't want to take too much damage here, but let's flip treasure map. If it's a land, we put it to the bottom. We don't need land drops consistently anymore. Domri. Yeah, I think Domri's okay. I mean, they're holding up blue here, which screams counter magic, to be honest. So why don't we just have the Planeswalker that makes counter magic bad? I mean, if this gets countered, sure, that's fine. Yeah. Hypnotic Sprite, though. Okay. So now we've got 6/9 mana. Okay. Which is enough to go Tender Shoot Dryad plus Helm of the Host. And our opponent's swing him. We do not want to lose our treasures. Skargan Hellkite. It's pretty good. Pretty good. I think we just want to go with Tender Shoot, though, and Helm of the Host. If we can equip this, we're probably going to win. Got the City's Blessing. Alright, this is an all-in YOLO situation. So now we're making 3/3s off Tender Shoot Dryads. If we can equip the Helm of the Host, we're making a 2/2 and 2 5/5s every turn cycle. So this desperately needs answering. Gotta have something though, right? Get to make my creatures come into play tapped. That actually, math-wise, could work out for them. But they're not going to stop us from actually... Oh, Elspeth Conquers Death? No! That's so rude. Okay, well, stop 6 points of damage. So, it looks like they have the answer, unfortunately. But we're just going for it, right? Equip Tender Shoot Dryads. Make 2 copies of Dryad, and then on each turn cycle we're going to make 2 5/5s. Don't want to do that. But are we just dead here now anyway, because of these Sunwings stopping our creatures from being able to block here? We got the response, but they got the Elspeth Conquers Death. If we can stabilize with the Great Henge, we could be okay. I haven't done the math properly here, so... I mean, it's either Helm stop us from making more Dryads, or it's Dryads stop us from making more tokens. They're going to get rid of our blocker. So we're taking 6, 8, 10, 11, 13. So we can response... this token here. And go to 0. Yeah, so close. So close. I did think I was a little bit too lucky in those first couple of games. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have gone all in on that one, but it was too fun not to, so I have zero regrets. Anyone who questions me on helming up things can just shush. Can just shush. Helm always beats logic. Let's go for another game. Alright, we're in. Love the hand. All 3 colours of mana, nice early game plays, and a late game play. So we're going to go for this. I don't know if we've got time to play the treasure map. I think we're going to go straight in. Hello, opponent. With Thorn Lieutenant into Domri, to be honest. So, Thorn Lieutenant. So then we get to attack for 3. It's kind of like the Adanto Vanguard play that we were up against earlier. Birth of Meletus. Okay, that's going to be annoying, because it will make a 0-4 that we can't push through. But, I mean, we've got a good turn anyway. So, we get to tick up. For no value, unfortunately, but, you know, attacking for 3 is not a bad thing. And this is an early Tender Shoot Dryad as well. Because we play land, tick up Domri. It's uncounterable as well if our opponent is in blue. I don't think our opponent would showcase they're in blue right now, since they've already revealed the planes. You don't want to give that information away, right? And yeah, this just kind of means that we can go around this wall token, which is not too bad. If we draw a land off the top, that means after Tender Shoot we get the Immortal Sun, which is great. So they're going to seal away. Okay. Well, trading a 3-3 for a 2-1's fine. They're going to maybe wish that they waited on that. Although, would I attack him with this Tender Shoot? Questionable, I suppose. Alright, pass the turn. Tender Shoot does its thing. We're at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 permanents right now. So next turn we're going to have the City's Blessing, and those 2-1s are going to be 4-3s. Actually not. They're going to be 5-4s, because we're going to have the Immortal Sun. I don't really care about Domri past Immortal Sun. I'm pretty sure Immortal Sun beats Domri in all forms. Okay. So, I mean, we could swing in with the token. If they block with Aurelia, we can fight another token. But if we tick him up instead, we get the Immortal Sun, and then we attack for 5 anyway. We don't really care about Domri after that. So let's play the Immortal Sun. And then swing with the creatures that can go through Aurelia. Again, we're not really even slightly bothered about Domri now, because we're drawing 2 cards a turn. We got cost reduction and +1/+1 to all of our creatures. Only reason we'd care is if our opponent does have an answer to both. Alright, so make another 5-4. Do you have an answer to both Domri and the Immortal Sun? If you answer one, you got to answer the other. A Ketra, okay. We were a Ketra'd before, but can we power through the Ketra again? I think this time we can. So Domri takes a little bit of a beating, which is totally fine. We take a little bit of extra card advantage, and it's all lands. You hate to see it. Okay, well, we're going to play the mountain, so we have the Adamant. Get to go treasure map, and we can tap the white for that as well. I mean, we swing, 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 swing. And, yeah, just leave it at that, I think. It's 15 points of damage. We trade off with the Aurelia, and if they block with a Ketra, we can Slaying Fire her to finish her off. Since double strike damage goes through, does not kill the token, but it does leave her on 1. I mean, we could always just leave the Slaying Fire for our opponent's face. There's definitely an opportunity for that being a good option for us. Yeah, we can wait on that, I suppose. We are pumping out too much for them to attack with it anyway, so it might actually just be better for an Alpha Strike next turn. Golos. Okay. I think that means we win. I mean, they do go quite wide here for sure, but we have Slaying Fire on this token now. I guess. If we wanted to do that. Aurelia gives Vigilance if it's white. Ooh, they pulled Lotus Field. Interesting. Alright, so looks like they're giving Vigilance to a Ketra. Or do they want 4 blockers? I think they should go with Aurelia and just swing in the air. Take the points off of my Saprolings by killing Domri. I guess they could do both. I'm taking 10 if they attack him with a Ketra. At that point I won't actually trade off my tokens. I think just having more of a board is better. All depends on what they do with the Aurelia. Yeah, they're going to give her Vigilance. So she's going to kill Domri, and then they're going to have 4 blockers. Which means 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is enough there. So, game trying to screw me a little bit there. History Benalia. Won't uber kill my opponent, so we're just going to get rid of that. It's going to hit our opponent in the face. Oh yeah, Immortal Sun doesn't allow you to pay the adamant there. That's funny. But yeah. Okay. We take our opponent to 1 actually, I think. Oh, I forgot about that bit. Yeah, cost reduction on Slaying Fire means you can't pay the 3 red even if you wanted to. So there's a little bit of an Immortal Sun non-bow there, but we were going to draw extra cards. In theory, I guess we could find like Rabid Bites and things like that to kill this token and, you know, do alright. But yeah, it's a good job that we didn't get punished for that line because it was definitely not going to work for us. Don't know what that 500's for, I think it's a daily. Alright, we are 3 and 2. If we manage to win, we didn't pay anything for this event. If we lose, paid 1,500 gold. As crappy as the rewards are, I think this event was worth 500 gold, 1,500 gold. It's just me. We don't get to keep the cards as well. I'd never mentioned that in the at the beginning when we were building the deck. This is a phantom draft, so none of the cards that I've kept we actually get to keep. So there's no reward there. Excuse me, very burpy. But yeah, final game, let's go. Looks like I am going to include them all, since these were pretty quick games actually. Okay, we're in, and I think this is the first hand that I can't keep. On the draw, which means we're already starting on the back foot as far as this format's concerned. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Can't cast Slaying Fire. Don't really have anything to ramp into necessarily. So I think this is a mull. Interesting. Early game Harpooner. We have card draw engine, card draw engine. Potential board wipe if Shatter the Sky can get there. I think this is a keep. I think we get rid of the Immortal Sun. And just rely on this encyclopedia to get the job done. This doesn't feel great though. This feels like a losing hand, but I think mulliganing any further is probably also asking to lose. Alright, well, I'm gonna go with the mountain first. No actual upside in playing the forest since we can response next turn if we choose to do so. I doubt it, but got away with Swordtooth. Alright, that's not too bad later. So we got a 3-2 down. Looks like it might be getting bounced. Oh, Once Upon a Time. Okay. Opponent's in Bant. You got it. And a Dryad. Alright. And a Labyrinth. So, yeah, I think we're just going to slap down the Encyclopedia here. If we don't find a card we like, then we can draw a card for our turn, make land drops, and work our way up to all of these big spells. I'm hoping that's the way this is going to go. Oh my god. Divine Visitation. Well, just be glad we have a Plains, I guess. So... I think this is where we just draw a card with the Encyclopedia. We can do this on our opponent's turn just fine. I might swing in and response the Dryad. Is that weird? It is weird, right? I'm going for it. We don't lose Harpooner doing this, so yeah, it's just kind of taking our chances. We made our land drop, so there's nothing really to draw off Encyclopedia. So we're looking for Knight of Autumn at this point. On the off chance that Divine Visitation's actually good anyway. We'd want Knight of Autumn. Oh my goodness. Alright, so Helm of the Host makes tokens, but those tokens are just going to be angels, so they can apply that to the Dryad and just make 4/4s. It's not actually as bad. This is almost a non-bow. I think I'd rather have a copy of the thing I was equipping than a 4/4 angel, but that might just be me. I mean, we do have Crater Maker now, so that's pretty good. Alright, so we're going to go Forest. We're going to go Swordtooth for the extra land drop, and then we can go Crater Maker. And we can destroy a colourless non-land permanent if our opponent tries to equip the Helm of the Host. We can get rid of it that way. We got a pretty good attack as well if we want to go for like a Resurgence. It's not all that bad. Blink of an eye. Yeah, I think this is where we, in response, kill the Helm. I think they cast it without Kicker, but I think regardless of them being able to draw a card on this Kicker, I think we still want to get rid of Helm. I think it's just too much value later down the line. Okay. So let's not do it like that. Let's do it like that. We have all colours of mana open, and I believe we can cast the Great Henge if we draw it. Nessie and Hornbeetle. Okay, that's pretty good. Triggers off the Wayward Swordtooth. We're swinging in like this, because I do want to use that Resurgence as a win con for double combat steps. Oh, they got the Labyrinth as well. Forgot about that one. Removes it from combat, but doesn't untap it like Maze of Ith would. That's correct. Resurgence does give Vigilance, so that's pretty good. Alright, so they got Chromatic Lantern, which is just doing what Dryad was already doing. Got to keep that Labyrinth in mind, I suppose. Alright, tap, tap. Tap. Already got our double white in hand, so it could be a double red. I suppose it's a Talpa, but we can't cast a Talpa anyway. So let's draw an additional card. Got our own Helm of the Host, which is absolutely going to carry this game. So get that down, pump the Hornbeetle. Now we've got a good attack. You can spend all their turn putting Swordtooth back out of combat, but then we've got the Hornbeetle coming through. Now the question becomes, what do we helm up? Because I really like helming all three of these creatures, to be honest. Harpooner is a 4/2 when it attacks. Hornbeetle will get progressively bigger, so it's kind of like a biogenic ooze. Alright, opponent discards a forest to Chemisters there. Gingerbrew. This looks like a Panic Dig to me. Okay, so if I went with Resurgence, we would attack for 13, forcing blocks. Yeah, I think Resurgence is enough to win there. Tap for 13, forcing blocks, and then we attack again. Hornbeetle gets 2 counters during those 2 combat steps as well, so that would be attacking for 14, I think it was. So we managed to do it! Yes! Alright, I think if I've done the math correctly, we are getting a free event. Pretty sick. I am going to put all the content, I think, out for this video, because these have been pretty quick games, actually. I've had a lot of fun with these. But yeah, I'd rather draft my cube sealed, or my cube draft anyway, but it's been okay. if you're into limited, I think you'd enjoy this environment a fair bit. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. So let's go for our final game and see if my gems become, if my gold becomes gems, and I get 20 more gems in rare ICRs. Okay, we're in. And I like this hand. Not a big fan of the Cryptic Caves in this situation, since it can't allow us to cast History Biennale on 3, which would be really good. But I think an early Thorn Lieutenant's always very good here. It's a shame we don't have the Slaying Fire. Like, in this situation, I think this Cryptic Caves would be better as both a Plains and a Mountain. If it was either one of those, I think I would be absolutely in love with this hand. But as it stands, I don't see a really good reason to throw it back, so let's just go with it. Drop down our forest, pass the turn. Just noticed as well, it's using our default sleeves by the looks of things. I wonder if that's actually the case for our opponent, if their basics are different. I actually assumed it to be one of those where it picks the basics for you, like most events seem to put the Theros lands into play. I really don't know. Well, they've got different basics to us, so my theory is in effect. Alright, we're going to go with the Horn Beetle first. Since the Wayward Sawtooth can't attack, but it does trigger the Horn Beetle, it means if we play this next turn, Horn Beetle's going to attack as a 3-3. And we're going to be pretty happy. I mean, if we draw a Plains, we might want to just Benalia first. That is a weird card to play there, opponent. I'm going to tick it up to 5 and it's going to die. I think maybe they're assuming that I don't have a way to pump this Horn Beetle. Or maybe it's bait. It could also just be bait. Not going to rule it out, but I think we're going with the Swordtooth to make sure that Gideon actually dies here. Let's watch them shatter the sky me now. That would be pretty grim. So if we got like land, we'd be able to play History of Benalia with Swordtooth active. We didn't, but that's fine. I think we're just going to go Benalia anyway. We're going all in on this board state, and we very much get completely destroyed if we're not lucky. Alright. So, yeah, we're just going to offer the trade with the Horn Beetle here. I think it's a decent enough trade, to be honest. Archon of Sun's Grace. Alright, we get another counter. Swordtooth's in play. We do not have the ability to Slaying Fire Archon, but we can play a treasure map, I suppose. And we can swing in with the Swordtooth. And our tokens are going to swing through the Archon just fine, even through the tokens that it makes. Next turn, if that actually happens. So it's Abzan, Woodland Cemetery coming down. Let's see if they've got any decent removal. Elspeth Conquers Death. Okay, where's that one going? So they make a 2-2. They get to kill one of my permanents. It's either History of Benalia or the Wayward Swordtooth. Both are going to hit them pretty hard next turn. They're going to go with the Swordtooth. I guess it is the repeatable source of damage for sure. So far off this Slaying Fire being good, though. Alright, so they're going to try and absorb damage, it seems. Zatalpa. I do like a Zatalpa. Could I have better draws next turn, though? I think Rabid Bite's a better draw. Crawl Harpooner fights Archon. Takes the lifelink off the token. I think there are better draws than Zatalpa. There's also bigger cards that we could draw right here as well that do a lot of damage. Oh. Oh. Alright, so we're going to draw that. Just ask for what you want, chat, and you'll get it. I am Santa after all. Alright, so we fight Archon. And then we get to swing for a decent amount. They don't gain life. So they're going to chump, take 6. Down to 7. Looking at another 6 points of damage again. But we have a flipped treasure map coming up. So we get a new scry, and we get to have the Slaying Fire available, essentially. Off the 3 red on the treasures. So they're going to need something good here. Midnight Reaper. That is not a good blocker, my friend. Okay. Plains. Absolute garbage. To the bottom. We've got the Great Henge. So, not ideal. Could have lethal right here and now, depending on how they block. The Reading Thorn Lieutenant. Okay. So, they're taking 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we got him. They draw with Midnight Reaper, which loses 1 life. And we got the 5 wins for the absolute... all the rewards. Slaying Fire incoming. Oof. Absolutely fantastic deck, it turns out. I really talked down on this one. I swear I've seen better decks than this, but yeah, we managed to get the 5 and 2. Not bad. So our uncommon is going to be Relentless Raptor. Let's see if I actually... It seems I actually have some rares. Usually they're gems. Silverclad Ferocidons. I might have preferred gems. And Magistrate Scepter. They're not my first. I'm going to point that out. They are absolutely not my first. In fact, I feel like this is already my 5th. Ferocidons maybe not, but let's have a look, actually. I'm curious. Ferocidons and Scepter. Let's go to the collection. Yeah, I got 3 and 4 now. So they're not my first. They're not my first, but I guess it's better than gems, honestly. I complain enough that these ICRs turn into gems. I might as well accept it for what it is. And yeah, managed to get 600 gems and actually got 2 rares and an uncommon, which is uncommon of this particular client. But yeah, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know how you guys are getting on with the Arena Cube sealed yourself. What have you been building? Or what have you managed to get to build anyway? Would you have built the deck any differently as well? Let me know down in the comment section below. But other than that, though, make sure to support the channel, engage with it for the YouTube algorithm by hitting that like button, subscribing, leaving a comment down below. All of that helps out a great deal. And yeah, without further ado, gonna end it off here. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Take care. Have fun.